Hi, thanks for stopping by my YouTube channel. I'm Yvonne of Pre-Designs. Today I want to show you how to make this cute little card using a Wobble Spring. This gorgeous little gnome is made out of the dies that come in the gnome set. The papers are in the same suite as well. And those goodies are found in our mini catalogue, the July to December, and that starts on the 1st of July. And you can find all the goodies that I'm going to be playing with on pages 42 and page 43 of the catalogue. You can buy the stamp set separately and the die separately, but if you buy them together as a bundle, you will get 10% off. And then we've got matching ribbon, little dots to add accents to your cards, and then also the beautiful designer series paper, which I'm going to be using today as well. So I'll pop that aside and let's get started. The stamp set, just to show you, this is the stamp set, the Kindest Gnomes. Now, I like to make up myself a template of each of the stamp set and dies, just so that I'm reminded easily, and I'm very visual, of what dies match the stamps and what dies are extras that you can create extra things with. So I make one of these up for each of my stamp sets with coordinating dies. Then I also make up a nice easy sheet to reference for the designer series paper. So this actually shows the front and the back of each of the pages. And this designer series paper is 12 by 12 inches or 30.5 centimetres by 30.5 centimetres. All right, so I'm going to bring in my pieces that I've already prepared. The card, I'm going to do different colours than the one that I just showed you. The card base is an A4 length, cut in half at 10.5, scored at 14.8, and then simply folded in half to make a nice tent-fold card. Then I have a piece of soft suede. Now I've brought in soft suede simply because that's the colour in the designer series paper, and then everything will coordinate nicely. I've already gone ahead and embossed that with our brick and mortar embossing folder, but done it with the bricks going in a landscape orientation as the card piece is portrait. And then to really highlight the bricks, I'm just going to bring in a little bit of colour. This is the same colour ink. I've just brought in my little plastic sheet. I just laminated a sheet of paper so that I can save my workspace. But also I've tapped a little bit of ink on the blending brush. Tap it off so I don't get too strong a colour. And then I'm just going to rub that over my bricks, which will, just add a little bit of interest to the bricks and just make those bricks pop a little bit. The ink tends to just sit slightly in the crevices or the mortar, accentuating the bricks if you just add this little extra. Of course, you don't have to, but that just adds a little bit of detail. And now I'm just picking up the excess that I've got there so as not to waste it. And that just shows you, picks up a little bit more of the brick on the embossing folder. So I'll pop all that away. And now I'm going to bring in my designer series paper that I've already cut. Now I've cut all the pieces already. This is 13 centimetres by 1.5 inches. Unusual that I've done inches, but just makes it easy to make each of them. I've made each of the pieces a half an inch smaller than the previous. So that's going to be my first piece. This is actually Night of Navy in here, but it is very soft Night of Navy. And you can see I'm just cutting little tags at the bottom. You may have a punch that can do this. Stampin' Up! Have had a punch in previously, but it's now retired. And I like to use current stuff in my videos so that you can see what I'm doing, how I can adapt things, and then go online and actually buy the things that are still that are available that I use if you're interested. And I'll pop my online store link at the end of the video. So that just made my little banners. So I'm just going to add those to my brick piece now. I don't want to cover up too much of it. You'll see that this piece is the reverse side of the trees. So just adding that in. I like to use glue, our multi-purpose liquid glue, because then it gives me a little bit of time just to move pieces if I need to. I'm going to pop that up a little bit higher and then I can trim the excess off. And the same with this piece. I'm going to, I've put the glue on the wrong side. Oops. But doesn't matter, I'm still going to go with it because I've got that other blue piece. I was originally going to put the little icicle or snowflake side on, but that still looks pretty good to me. So I'm just going to flip that over, cut off the excess. Okay, so that is my feature piece that's going to go on the front of the card. So just glue that on. I've made a nice, quite a nice wide matte border. The soft suede piece is 13.8 by 9.5 centimetres, just so I've got a nice border around there. Okay, so that's that bit. Then I've gone ahead already and cut out my little gnomes. So these are all the dies that come in the set. I've used Whisper White for the whiskers. I've used Basic Black for the feet or the boots. Petal Pink for the nose, and then for the little hat, I've used Real Red because I want it to resemble a Santa gnome. This little hat also has this tiny little piece with a little hole in it that you can slip in there, and you can actually then make it a tag as well. So I'll make those another day. So they're all the die pieces that I've used, and I just wanted to show you the colours that I've used. So now I'm going to put the gnome together. And to do that, they've actually made it quite easy. I'm going to bring in my silicone mat. On the whiskers, you can just see the little piece here for his nose, and then these little indents are where you would put the hat. So I'm going to put the hat on first. Using the silicone mat just makes it nice and easy so I don't over glue. So I've got a little bit of glue on each, and then I can use the little lines on the die, on the die cut, so that I know where the hat's going to sit and also where his nose is going to sit. I've made it, Stampin' Up! I've made it super easy. Oops, so that's his hat so far. They haven't done the same on the feet, but that's pretty easy. I'm just going to line him up and go, yep, that looks pretty good there. So I'll put a couple of little dots of glue on each side and just a tiny little strip through the middle, because I'm only sticking little bits of card together. It's not like it's going to be a heavy piece. So now I just stick that on, and there is my Santa gnome. So pop that piece aside. Now to make the Wobble Spring. So I used just some wire that I already had in my craft stash from my girls who are now grown-ups from when they used to make jewellery. So I've cut off 10 centimetres. I'm going to pick up a pencil. Sorry, I just knocked the video frame. And I'm just going to wind that wire around the pencil all the way around to the very end. Slide it off. You do need something nice and round, and then that is my spring. Then I'm going to bring in a piece of tear and tape, because now I need to attach the spring to something so that I can then attach it to my gnome. So a little piece of tear and tape or double-sided tape, and I've punched out 2 circles just because I've got circle punches. Stampin' Up! Don't have those in our current catalogue, but you could just use square pieces of card, absolutely anything, just a little scrap piece. Oops, nearly lost the spring. Then I'm going to put the tear and tape under the last piece of the string. Hopefully you can just see it there, because in that piece is going to be attached to my circle. I'm using my bone scorer just to make sure that the tape is stuck hard and fast to the circle. Just Pop that over there. Now you're going to leave the paper on the tape. You don't take the paper off. Otherwise, when your spring closes or gets pushed down, it actually will stick the spring together and it won't work. Then bring your spring back up and put another piece of tear and tape under that end of the spring and do exactly the same. Stick it down to the other piece of the other little circle and fold over the excess, and there I have my little spring. So you can purchase these, but they cost, in Australia they're about $1 each. You can very easily make your own. Then I'm going to bring in my Santa Gnome, flip him over, and look, his nose had moved. I just put that back into place. Bring in my Santa Gnome, flip him over, put a little bit of glue on the back of him, on the back of the spring, and then stick that down. Again, I'm just going to use my bone scorer just to make that sure that that adheres nicely. A little bit of glue on the back of the second circle, flip him over, and then just stick him down on the card. And I can push that down so that he's stuck nicely. He's wobbling already. All right, that's him so far. And then to make a little tag. In the stamp set, you've got a few different words, but I'm using, because I've got the Santa Gnome, I'm using Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I'm just going to ink that on a white piece of card. Hopefully I will get it straight, but I have done another piece just in case. Pretty good. And then to match all the little banners that I've got there, I'm just going to trim off the excess. I must have a bit of glue or tape sticky on my scissors because my leftovers are sticking to them. Pop that there, and then I'm going to grab a mini dimensional and pop a couple of mini dimensionals on the back if they want to come off. Take the papers off and stick that to my card, and there is my card done. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year with the little Wobble Spring gnome. And then that, of course, will fit in a regular sized envelope. Hope you've enjoyed this little tutorial. Have fun. And if you would like to purchase any of the goodies that I've used today, you will see the item numbers on the video as I progress through, and then I'll put the link to my online store at the end of the video. Thanks very much. Bye.